Thank you very much for clicking on my video. I am the Ready Raccoon, and this is going to be a basic overview of the 502D American Bowie fixed blade knife by Bear & Son Cutlery. Now this video is going to be divided into 7 short parts. I will notate each individual part in the description box below, along with the different times these parts will begin at, so that if you're pressed for time or you're only interested in one specific part, you can click ahead to that part and watch the video from there. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy my video in its entirety, and let's kick this thing off with part 1. MSRP for this Bowie knife is going to be $336.99. However, this knife here was purchased for $173 from Cabela's. Now these are the prices as of the year 2018, so if you're watching this video at any other point, make sure you check your current listings for current pricing. So the American Bowie is going to come in a brown box with Bear & Son Cutlery written right across the top, Made in USA on the side, as well as on the top of the box over here. And on the side of the box there's going to be a white sticker with 502D printed onto it, which is the knife's designation. Okay, inside the box is going to be the knife and sheath itself, along with a warranty and product registration card. That is it. Thank you for your recent purchase of this Bear & Son Cutlery product. To avoid injury and ensure you get the most out of your Bear & Son product, please take some time to complete the steps below. And then it says step 1, review the warranty online, and step 2, product registration online. And then it provides you 2 links that you can type into your search engine to bring up those 2 steps. And then of course it looks like there's a code there you can scan with your cell phone if you'd rather just hop to it that way. Now I do want to apologize right up front. This is a huge knife, and I know I'm going to be fighting to keep it on screen for the duration of this video, but just bear with me. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the out-of-the-box sharpness. They say the slower you cut, the better the test is. That is sharp. Look at that. So I'm going to say the out-of-the-box sharpness for the American Bowie, on a scale where poor is the worst, good is right in the middle, and excellent being the best, this knife definitely deserves an excellent rating. Now, like I've explained before in my other videos, one thing I like to do with my brand new knives is give them a basic quality control look over, where I just check for imperfections or damage or anything that's on the knife that shouldn't be there, considering the knife is brand new and was never previously owned or used. While looking over this knife, I didn't find any quality control issues. The fit and finish is perfect. Everything seems to be tightened and well installed, so no issues here. So the blade metal is going to be high definition Damascus steel. According to Bear & Son's website, this particular Damascus steel is 416 layers of medium and high carbon steel with nickel. Blade length for the American Bowie is going to be 9 inches long. You're going to have a clip point design here with a false non-sharpened edge with a Bowie style blade shape. Blade thickness is going to be 0.14 inches. The blade is going to have a hollow grind. The heat treating on this blade is going to be 58 through 60 on the Rockwell scale. The finish and coating is going to be a black oxidized pattern, typical of Damascus steel. Just above the brass guard, you can have 3 blade markings. One that says Barren Sun, a second line that says J''Ville, comma AL, standing for Jacksonville, Alabama, USA, and the date of manufacture for this blade, which is 2018. The knife is going to have a full tang design running all the way through to the bottom of the knife. As far as special features go, I'm going to say the Damascus steel and the oxidized black finish patterns are the special feature of this knife. It's just a beautiful design, and it's as unique as a fingerprint. No 2 Damascus steel blades have the exact same pattern. So the handle material is going to be genuine India stag bone. You're going to have a handle length of 5.375 inches. I'm getting a handle thickness reading of 0.82 inches. Alrighty, and let's take a quick reading on the handle width. I'm getting 1.24 inches on handle width. So the texture on these stag handles is going to be just as you'd expect, a natural grooved bone feeling. Special features for the handle are going to be the riveted bone slabs, the brass crossguard, and that polished full tang that we mentioned earlier. So the American Bowie is going to come with a very nice brown leather sheath. Now this brown leather sheath is going to retain the knife using metal snaps. As far as carry options go, it's belt carry only. However, you can carry it on the left or right hip and draw it with the left or right hand. When it comes to ease of draw, pulling the knife out of its sheath is no problem at all. However, be very careful when you resheath this knife. Resheathing, there is an issue. I don't know if you can see here, the stitching looks a little different than anywhere else on the sheath. Give you a closer look at that. The reason for that is, at the store, at Cabela's, where I purchased this knife, when they were resheathing the knife, they put it in at the wrong angle, and the tip of that Bowie knife cut every single one of them threads. I had to take it to a shoe repair place to get that fixed. So be very careful when resheathing this knife that you go in just dead straight. If you tilt a little bit this way, you're going to cut some thread and have to have your sheath repaired. So go straight down. Just like so. And then re-secure it using that snap. Considering you have to be so careful, it is not very quick to resheath. However, pulling the knife out is easy. You don't have to put any thought into that. When it comes to special features for the American Bowie's sheath, there are 3 of them. First is going to be the Barren Sun logo. You're going to have brass hardware on the retention strap. And the last one, and probably the most impressive special feature on this sheath, the retention strap is not sewn into place. It's not glued into place. It's riveted into place. So is this an effective sheath? Absolutely. There's plenty of friction from the tight leather on the blade already that I would say is sufficient to keep the knife in under reasonable stress, and under intense stress, such as this, sorry, the camera blurred there for a second. Okay, we're back in focus. As you can see, the knife did slip from the sheath just a little bit there when I was shaking it, but of course it did not fall out completely because it was stopped by that riveted retention strap and that metal snap. So, absolutely a dependable sheath. You can trust it. You're not going to lose your knife. Just an overall good package. So when it comes to understanding how comfortable something is to use or carry, it would benefit us to know how much that object weighs, right? So let's take the first of 3 separate weight measurements. The first measurement is going to be of just the Bowie knife itself. Now I apologize if this isn't fitting all on screen. It's just a really big knife. I'm getting 15.5 ounces. Now moving the Bowie knife to the side, let's go ahead and get a weight on the sheath by itself. And I am getting 4 ounces on the sheath. So weighing the knife and the sheath together, we should get a weight reading of 1 pound and 3.5 ounces. So let's see what we get here. And I got 1 pound and 3.5 ounces. So when you're wearing this knife on your belt, it's going to have a low ride. Only a little bit of the handle is going to stick up past the belt loop, which is good because it means it won't be sticking you in your gut or in your ribs. So continuing on with comfort. Believe me when I say that the American Bowie by Bear & Son Cutlery is the best feeling knife I have in my collection. Can you believe that? This traditional, time-tested and proven design of full tang metal with 2 slabs at the bottom, no contouring or finger grooves or anything like that. Just straight, slick back handle. This is the best feeling handle in my collection. All the tactical blades aside, all the cool fancy survival technologies and grips and textures out there, natural grooved bone, straight back design, and this is the best feeling knife I have. Goes to show why the design has not gone away and why it's lasted hundreds and hundreds of years. It is just an absolutely amazing feeling handle. No hot spots whatsoever. None. Yeah, I love this handle. I love this grip. On my scale, poor being the worst, good in the middle, excellent being the best, that's right, you guessed it. It's going to get a rating of excellent. So Bear & Son Cutlery was founded in 1991, and despite being around the past several years, I had never heard of them. It wasn't until this knife was given to me as a birthday present that they finally pinged on my radar. But I'm happy to finally be aware of this company because they have some really impressive things going for them. First and foremost, Bear & Son operates out of Jacksonville, Alabama, producing what are, in my opinion, quality-made American knives right here in the USA. And I personally appreciate any company that chooses to keep production here in the USA and maintain an American workforce rather than sending their production overseas. So I really respect Bear & Son for this reason. The second thing I really like about them is the pride they take in their product. I mean, this Bowie knife is just beautiful. And I looked at some of the other Bear & Son knives at the store while I was there, and they were beautiful as well. In fact, it's my overall impression that this company really understands what goes into making an attractive knife. Look, the way I see it, the Bowie knife design is generally defined as a 9-inch clip point blade with a cross guard. Bear & Son could have easily met that requirement, slapped a price tag on it, and sent it out the door. But instead, they took the time to make this Bowie knife beautiful with their Damascus steel, grooved stag handles, high shine brass guard. This is what taking pride in your product looks like, in my opinion, and I'm very impressed with how they executed this Bowie knife. Third thing I really like about them, my customer service experience was amazing. Like I mentioned earlier during part 5, there is a resheathing issue. If you're not careful, you can cut the stitching on your sheath. Well, when I was at Cabela's to pick out my birthday knife, I noticed they had 2 of these Bear & Son American Bowies in stock. Both blades were beautiful and had absolutely nothing wrong with them. But I ended up picking this particular American Bowie to bring home because the stitching on the other American Bowie sheath was heavily damaged. This Bowie that I picked out to bring home was only missing a small section of stitching down here, as I showed in part 5. Over the next few days, the stitching started coming undone and fraying, and I was a little frustrated by that situation. So I thought about contacting Cabela's and asking to exchange my American Bowie for another American Bowie, but remembered the only other American Bowie they had in stock had more sheath damage than mine did. So I figured the next best thing would be to contact Bear & Son directly. I sent them an email, explained the situation, and within 45 minutes had a reply. And get this, the reply was from the president of the company, Mr. Ken Griffey. Mr. Griffey asked me to send him some pictures of my damaged sheath. About 15 minutes after replying to his email with those pictures he requested, I received another reply. It was his opinion the damage was most likely caused by employees at the store, in this case Cabela's, not properly resheathing the knife after showing their American Bowies to customers. My subsequent use of the sheath then caused the already cut threads to fray even more. Now, even though the sheath is not covered under the knife's warranty, Mr. Griffey understood the situation I was in as not being my fault. He offered to mail me a replacement sheath, free of charge. Not only did he offer to mail me a replacement sheath, he also gave me advice on how to repair my damaged sheath. He suggested I take it to a shoe repair shop, and I have done that. So this sheath has been repaired, and thanks to his generosity and understanding of the situation I was in, this happened. The package arrived in the mail just like he promised. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what kind of replacement sheath we got. I shouldn't have to cut this package. It's pretty, should be able to tear it. So here we have the replacement sheath. The finish on this leather is different than the finish on the sheath that it came with. As you can see, this has a kind of a polished look, and this is more of a rough look, but you still have a riveted retention strap and metal snaps, and the knife should fit in there no problem at all. Just remember, we gotta be very careful not to cut the sheath, because we go straight down. Kind of help it get past the ricasso there. There we go. There it is. Very nice. So this is what taking care of your customers looks like. He could have easily received my email and just replied, "Sheaths aren't covered under warranty, tough luck." But instead, he asked for pictures of it so he could verify for himself what my issue was. He offered a solution on how to repair the damaged sheath, and then free of charge provided me a replacement just to be nice, honestly, just for the inconvenience of having to deal with a damaged sheath from the retailer. That's customer service to a T. That is outstanding customer service. So guys, when you buy from Bear & Son Cutlery, buy with confidence. They're going to take care of you. If there's any issue with your product, they're going to make sure that you're taken care of. That's not to say that your experience with them is going to be the same as mine. I'm not saying they send out free sheaths every time they receive a complaint about them. It is not covered under their warranty. I want to make that clear. Your experience may vary a little bit, but I'm just telling you what happened to me, showing you what kind of company they are presenting themselves to be to me, and based on my experience with them, I'm going to be a lifelong fan of Bear & Son Cutlery. And once again, with the disclaimer, I'm not saying they're going to send you a free sheath. Even he told me in the email that if I damage this one, I would have to buy a replacement. But they're only $26 on their website, so it's not going to hurt your pocketbook. Now, since this is a Bowie knife, which from the beginning was primarily designed to be a fighting/hunting knife, and since this is just a beautiful execution of that design, I will not be testing it for this video. I plan on keeping my American Bowie knife cleaned and polished as if it was a museum piece. I have no doubt it would perform well in a survival or camp situation, so I feel no need to test it there and risk ruining its beautiful finishes. And we all know the design is effective in combat, as history famously recorded during the sandbar fight. So with all that said, I hope this video has given you the information you need to craft your own personal opinion on the American Bowie knife by Bear & Son Cutlery, and I hope you have enjoyed my video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel for upcoming overviews. I am the Ready Raccoon, and thank you very much for watching.